Because people always talk about cryptocurrency, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like I was really late getting into it. And
Cryptocurrency is, I think it's like a form of karma.
Oh, I've been learning a lot, about this cryptocurrency technology that's coming out. A lot of different platforms coming out.
Ultimately, because it's more controlled by the people. You know what I'm saying? Whereas, government is a business. Mm-hmm. Currency is the biggest business in the world. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to understand money and how it works to understand crypto in so many ways.
Bitcoin is the world's first cryptocurrency.
I think that the banks had such a crooked model. Engineers and software designers and programmers was like, we're not going to fix this with a protest. We're not going to fix this with a march on Wall Street. We're going to fix this with technology.
And it works because of the world's first public blockchain network. What does Bitcoin do?
That just checkmated the whole game. Disadvantage that the people were at, the cryptocurrency is balancing that out.
BTC in 32 weeks.
Welcome back, hard forkers, to 1 Bitcoin and 32 Ethereum. I know you missed us because we've been gone for 2 weeks, but we are back. We had to wait while Stefano moved to this beautiful new backdrop. We missed the kitchen.
We did it. No more kitchen.
Damn.
No. Welcome back, guys. It's been a...
I'm looking for naked people in those windows over there.
Oh, I spent hours doing that at this place the other night.
Feel free to check.
Yeah. So, wild couple of weeks, people, but as we do, first up, meme of the week.
Garlic House.
Very good. Poor Brad, the world's richest man. So I'm trying to find the article. You want to talk us through what's gone down with Mr. Garlinghouse? We're actually going to cover what I personally consider a bit of an attack on crypto happening right now. We'll look at that story with the SEC having a crack at Ripple and Mr. Garlinghouse, who I think was the second richest man in the world for a while. And obviously this new bill that is attempting to be snuck through over the holiday period by our man Stevie Mnuchin, who's out of a job in a few weeks and is clearly having a very vindictive swing at crypto before he goes. So we'll get to that in a moment. But before we do, we just want to maybe bring up the projects that we've covered over the last few months on the show and see who the big movers and losers have been in the last 2 weeks. Jordan, you want to talk us through that one?
Sure. Seems like the biggest mover recently has been Ferrum. In the past 2 weeks, 204%, and 88% in the last week alone.
Wow.
So
what's driving that apart from you buying the token? Any news?
They're just doing lots of staking. And they had an airdrop for their FMRX. So people were buying up, collecting for the airdrop, hoping for some more free monies. Okay. But there's a lot of
stuff. We're looking closely now, Ferrum people, 200%. Thank you. We like that.
Cha-ching.
Yeah, absolutely. Hex is the other biggie, huh?
Sell. You gonna sell? You gonna sell? Hex is a biggie? I don't know. In the last 2 weeks, it's only with 62%, which is pretty good. But over the month, it's only 28%. So after the payday, it dumped heavily dump. And so it's just bouncing back right now. Saw Lisa analyze Hex on your show there. She doesn't think anything of it, does she?
I don't think she likes Richard Hart. He attacked her brother fairly ferociously.
Oh, surprise. Why would he do that?
Yeah, so winners over the last 2 weeks. We've got Pirate Chains made a decent move of 20%.
Yeah, Pirate Chain's moving up 100%, 115% over the last 30 days, which is quite nice.
And obviously, unfortunately, the losers are Bonk
10% over the last 2 weeks. And what? Bonk is down 23% over the last 2 weeks. So it's a bit hurting. Stefano and I have been talking to Sealsy, right? Working on Bonk V2. So yeah, there's some updates coming there. So hopefully,
well, I hope so.
some movement.
Come on, bonkers.
Yeah.
I'm
Bonk,
not happy.
bonk, bonk,
We're going down in a rising market.
bonk.
Give us some good news, please. We'll, maybe talk a bit more about Bonk later in the show. Okay, guys, before we get into how we've traded, I just wanted to point this out for the audience. There is a link below. You can send your voice, your letter, directly to the Treasury Secretary Mnuchin. Let him know what you think of this proposed bill. If you're not aware of what's going down, basically 4 or 5 days ago, a bill's been put forward that a wallet or anywhere that crypto has been transferred from the US, you're going to have to provide a lot of details, basically your driver's license number or passport number, if that crypto is going to a non-custodial wallet, so your own wallet effectively. Any more than $3,000, you're going to have to do that. So to me, I consider this an attack on crypto when you compare it to the traditional financial system, where at that level of currency at $3,000, you'd have to go and get a subpoena. You'd have to have a very good reason for wanting to track somebody's use of their own money at that level. So I had a bit of an argument with Lisa in my show earlier on this topic. She didn't really see an issue with this. I see a massive issue with it. It's also going to potentially cause a lot of problems for things like purchasing NFTs using DeFi, because the way those platforms work, there just simply isn't that functionality there. Even if you wanted to have sort of built-in standard reporting that happened automatically, we really need another year or two in the space to figure out how identity is going to work in that capacity. So it could be a bit of a chokehold that they're attempting to put on DeFi, and a lot of innovation happening in crypto, in my opinion. So I don't like this bill. It's also been very sneaky that it's only got 15 days for comment, and the fact that it's been put through over a holiday period is clearly, for me, a parting slap from Steve Mnuchin against crypto, which he is very well known not for liking. So we've obviously got the SEC coming after Ripple at the moment as well. So, we've all had the warm fuzzies lately about how great crypto is. It's going up. Institutions are coming into the space. But for me, this is a bit of a blind side here, and does concern me. I'm sort of turning a little bit bearish short term for any trades I'm going to be making. So your thoughts on these developments, guys, before we look into how we've been trading?
Yeah, well, you said it was blindside, but this is exactly the topic that we talked about 2 weeks ago. Being confiscated, the KYC, once everybody, all the profits start going up, the government's going to be like, hey, wait a minute, and this is, one of the fears with Bitcoin and the custodial wallets, and now they're going after non-custodial wallets. I don't know. Bitcoin's getting too big, and the government's going to want their piece. I don't know. Fuck those guys. Fuck Mnuchin. That's what I got to say.
Okay. Very.
Stefano's on another planet there. I don't know what he's doing.
No, I'm here. What are you talking about? It's just that, I'm hearing you two talking at the same time, like you're buffering. So I don't know when I'm supposed to start.
Where are you looking at?
At the screen.
Oh, you need to put it
screen. I have two monitors.
Might want to look at the other one.
Yeah, it just looks like you're like.
Yeah, you're looking at us in the audience. So, Stefano, what are your thoughts on those two very, very big pieces of news, which are a concern?
Well, I think that if we're exiting Planet USA for a second, which is obviously what a lot of people always think, that if something happened to the US, automatically it affects like the entire world. If you're taking a place like Singapore, nowadays, you're not even allowed on an e-money wallet to own more than 5,000 Singaporean dollars. Here, you have to do the KYC basically in order to like own more. So am I pro or against that? Obviously, I'm against, because I believe that people should be completely free of doing what they want with their money. But on the other side, if you have nothing to hide, it kind of like push on that direction that like people are gonna keep everything in the centralized wallets and so on.
Yep.
That is obviously against what we believe and what we have been discussing forever at this point. But I still think that it could actually play in the long run in a positive way for the price. So I don't know. I'm happy. Overall, I'm happy that I'm not living in the US, to be honest.
Yeah, okay. I mean, just give us your thoughts. You say overall it could be positive for the price. I think there is certainly a scenario where that would be the case. I've got a dinner tomorrow night with a friend who's global head of compliance for a global bank. Their issue has always been understanding the compliance around this, and obviously, where if there are going to be some sort of clear regulations in place, it is obviously going to make it easier for the banks to come in here. That has been one of the things that's held them back. Therefore, they're selling crypto to mum and pops and your everyday retail user. Clearly, that have some very big upward pressure. But at the end of the day, I think the use cases for Bitcoin, obviously, it's got that unconfiscatable, uncensorable. The uncensorable nature of Bitcoin is massively called into question when we look at something like this happening. So I got a bit of an issue there. Overall, I'm not happy with it, but
yeah, I think the plus side is that it's going to move people to real crypto.
Yeah.
Buy your XMR, buy your ARG, buy your, like people will start moving to privacy and realizing that, hey, you know what, we need a real crypto that isn't just this like pseudo crypto XRP bullshit,
Yeah, look, Jordan, I agree with you. Yeah, I agree those options are there. There's plenty of them out there. What are your thoughts, though? Because obviously, you've got the Blockchain Association that are taking this very, very, very seriously. They're basically going to step in and sue the US government over this, which will hopefully hold it up in court and give the crypto industry time to really engage properly on this. Really, where I see an issue here, listening to some of the senior people in the space talking on this one, the massive issue here is it's actually more. Okay, obviously we want that privacy. If money is the ultimate form of freedom, and if you've got a chokehold on you on that front. People being able to track everything you do just for $3,000. It's not exactly freedom. But one of the big issues here that I think a lot of people are missing are, you guys love the NFT space. This whole show is about checking out new innovations, diving in there, using them. This could really cause major problems just from a functionality point of view, like, something like Compound. I mean, how do you get an in-wallet address from that if you're coming out of a custodial wallet? People just aren't going to be able to interact, even if they would not, even if they wanted to show, okay, this is me, I'm moving from Coinbase to here. Just that whole level of compliance, it's the functionality, and many of these projects won't be there, and it would effectively kill them, and they'd have to go, well,
but it's partial, because like it's true. If I'm taking out cryptos and I'm moving that to a wallet, and then like I'm putting that in a smart contract, like on Compound and so on, it's true. I still have the ETH or whatever crypto I'm actually like depositing there, but they're not reflecting the wallet. However, I still have a token that represent the ownership, the part own of that specific smart contract. Think about like when you're joining a liquidity pool and so on. So, and then again, on the other side, as long as like you're keeping, it's a negative thing, but as long as you're keeping track of those things, at the end of the day, you're declaring when you're moving more, once you're in the blockchain space, like you're kind of having like that freedom of doing like pretty much whatever you want. So the communication happens when you're entering and exiting from the blockchain, like that in and out type of sphere, I guess. So I don't know. I mean, is it going to affect people? Yes, of course it will. But is it really like catastrophic point of view? If from a privacy perspective, absolutely yes. But from a development and R&D, I don't know. I'm not.
That's something I think we need to look at in a bit more depth. I'm still trying to wrap my head around, it's a 70-page document. There's a lot to sort of get through there, but it's a real worry for me what I'm hearing, some of the big players in this space in the last 24 hours talking about that concern that, these staking platforms, how that compliance will work there. Even if you want to put 10 grand into a staking platform and you're not trying to hide anything, you want to declare that. But the difficulty of actually doing that under this new legislation just might sort of kill those projects and the innovation happening in them. I still think, that space needs another year or two to really figure out those issues of digital identity and how that is going to be handled moving forward. I mean, obviously, it's not necessarily about trying to hide money or evade tax at all. But, if that innovation gets stifled now, that's going to be a damn shame.
Well, projects will probably just ban American users, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I know a couple projects that have been doing that for years already, just because of the regulation before.
Yeah. Those regulations, though, Mr. Gonzo, will disseminate very quickly globally if this comes in the US, without a doubt. I mean, it's obviously there are similar ones there in Switzerland already, and I believe it's happening in Europe as well. So, it will be a global scenario, that's for sure. I don't think we should be confused on that. Attack on crypto. XRP off to court.
Is XRP even a crypto? That's the question. Fucking karma, that's what that is.
Well, the SEC thinks it's a security.
Good.
I see that Jordan is pretty spiced up today.
Well, I mean, how long have been people yelling about XRP? Like that airdrop was such a blatant scam. The last 2 weeks, that huge run up, pump the price. Here's our extra token. Oh, now we can dump our bags. They must have known the SEC shit was coming. It's like one more big pump so we can dump our tokens on the fucking noobs. XRP to standard 569. Like that. It's the model of a project that should be taken to court. I'm not a big fan of regulation, but they couldn't have picked a better one in my eyes.
Okay. So we're about to, we're not reviewing a project this week, people. We will be getting back to that in the next show. I've had to turn down a few that we
can review
Ripple because they were dog shit, clearly dog shit. Wasn't even worth showing you the videos. So we're still working on getting a few more on. So I think we'll whip through how we've traded our existing projects and maybe let you know the other things that we're looking at generally in the market. But before we do that, Stefano, are you? I've turned slightly bearish, and I'm a bit worried with this new development. I'm somewhat sitting on the sidelines for the next week. From a trading point of view with my Prime XBT account, it's a little bit too tough to call. I have made a couple of decent trades lately, publicly, some shorts that did well. You don't trade your Prime XBT account.
Yeah, if you ask me about this moment is really for me so serious that I rather just wait a bit before trading on my account. But just for this moment, because otherwise I would have
How much are you up, Sean?
Sorry?
What's your percentage? What are you up?
My stack was down pretty badly from some copy trade I've been doing. but I basically decided to start trading myself. Obviously, I'm sort of ramping up the trading shows I'm doing with Lisa. And I did all right. I doubled my stack in the last week on the Prime platform.
Break
So
even?
I've clawed my way back. And so my personal trading, I've done pretty well on there. I do like it. I find it an easy platform to use. We hope Prime come back on board as a supporter of the channel. We're having a chat to them on that front at the moment. So Jordan, are you actively trading at the moment, be it on Prime or anywhere else daily? And if so, what's your sentiment at the moment? Are you bullish or bearish?
Honestly, I've just been like this deep in NFTs, just making NFTs, and connected to that, I've been accumulating a couple projects, not really trading, just buying stuff when it gets low. Bought some CyberFi because that's a company that I'm making the NFTs for, and they paid me some, so I'm pretty bullish on that. It's really neat. They have automated liquidity pools, so you can
get them on the
buy, sell,
show.
order
Should we do a review?
We've talked to them. Yeah, they're into it. The issue is that they're in the middle of launching their staking platform, so they're like super busy. But when it clears up a bit, I've definitely mentioned it to them, and they're interested. So that's it. CFI. Other than that, I've made a couple small buys of AXS, preparing for staking. It's kind of been up and down a bit.
Okay. Did you want to tell us about the existing projects? Have you traded or done anything in the last 2 weeks with the projects that we've reviewed? Any major moves?
We're just unstaking my hex and preparing for a little bit of an upswing to sell, because what we got from the big payday is we pretty much we've got a lot more. So I just want to take some profits on that and use it to buy some other stuff. And I've still got half of it, 2/3 of it staked. So I'm going to look for a nice little pump if it happens and sell some hex. But the other, I've just been NFTs between making them and breeding Axes, which kind of is a good segue into our other news with the Axes program, right?
Yes.
The Axie program.
Yes. So as of next week, we'll be adding the SLP token to the leaderboards. We've been giving away scholarships. If you've been following the show, I'm sure you're familiar with this. So I think our 3 players have had the teams for a week now. Now, we'd still like you to jump into the Discord if you would like a team.
We've got more. I've still got some more. Yeah.
There is a link to the Discord below. We've got more teams to give away. And obviously, if we're not happy with how our players are performing, they will be replaced. Now, on that note, Stefano, how's your player going? How many SLP have they got?
I'm very happy with. So my player, it's called Elias, something, whatever. He's gonna tell me the pronunciation at one point, but he generated 918 SLP so far. It's quite good. It's going an average of like 76 per day. I think that it's gonna take a little bit of time to go up on the adventure mode, leveling up the Axie, and then completing the daily task every single day. But so far, I'm very happy. Very, 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 very happy.
Okay. So how many SLP?
918.
Oh, okay. Jordan, how's your player going?
Let's review yours first, Sean.
Okay, Shandy, if you're watching this, don't embarrass me, man. Shandy's got less than 300.
Less than 300.
Less than 300. So Stefano's player has 3 times as much in the same period of time. Chandu, get out of the nightclub. Get back playing the game. Otherwise, we will be... Team Sean might have to look for a replacement.
Haha. Uh-oh. Our first nerf.
He's going to come. He's the next week. You watch him storm back into action. So how many SLPs has your player generated?
The competition wallet now. I actually went through 2 scholars already on this one. The first guy, he started playing.
Oh, you're just making them go 24/7 and wearing them out and replacing people.
Exactly.
Right.
No.
Okay.
Actually, what happened is the first guy.
Rules in place here, Jordan.
You've done only 12 hours of playing today. You're fired.
Can I finish? The guy's phone messed up and broke, and he couldn't play. So as soon as that's the excuse he gave me. What am I going to say? You're full of shit. You know, like
you probably went to his house and destroyed the phone and be like, you don't play anymore.
Yeah, no, exactly. That was Anzafak. That was one of the first guys that we had in the Discord, and you know, he did okay. He made like 280 within the first couple of days, but then his phone broke. So then I got a new scholar who actually has been doing quite well. He has the total of, I have 1,382 SLP. So that number I gave you guys.
Okay, yeah. So basically, my guy's not up to much here.
he's either lost contact or he's got a problem with his connection.
All right, listen, we you know, on that note, we will be giving away more scholarships, and I'll possibly be looking for someone else to play my team. So the big thing for me is whoever effectively gets involved in following this content, likes, comments, shares, and obviously has a chat with us in the Discord is how I would select my guy. Chandu was actually pretty damn good. He was you know, got stuck in on those things I just listed. So it's a bit disappointing to see that he's maybe not playing so much. But I'll have a chat with him in the Discord privately before publicly shaming him.
Yeah,
I'm sure
my guy's pretty cool. He's my guy Ronald. His name is. He's from Venezuela. Nice. You know, and he's exactly the person we're kind of trying to help, right? Yep. He's telling me the government shit. He's having a lot of tough time there in Venezuela, so it's quite nice. I told my guy I'd give him a 70% cut for the first week, just because at an entry level, and they have to build up the axes from level 1 to a higher level to make the good returns on the adventure mode. So I said, for the first week, I'll give you 70% instead of our agreed 65%.
All right.
So it seemed like it worked. He played extra harder.
Just one thing on that. They changed the rules, so from now on, that strategy is not going to be possible anymore. Because now the SLP that you get from the game are going to be locked for 2 weeks, and so they're.
Well, it still works. It still works. It's just our payouts we have to wait 2 weeks for the payouts.
Yeah, that's right. The thing.
Yeah. Which is fine because
probably a lot of the audience have no idea what we're sort of getting into nitty gritty on SLP, so let's not get bogged down there, guys. Anything else on the Axie action before we quickly look at our trades and wrap the show up?
They launched a new season, and that's pretty much it.
And they're giving away AXS tokens, which is nice. So, kind of a double win. You get tokens, and then you can stake them later and get profits on the marketplace. Which is
very good. It's a token I'm looking at closely and will most likely buy, I think. Just waiting for the right entry point. On that note, guys, let's wrap the show up. Any trades that we have made from our existing projects or also outside of those projects. Stefano, do you want to quickly talk us through anything you've done?
Nothing.
You did nothing in 2 weeks?
No. Nothing. Hey, I was moving out. I'm happy with my holding. I didn't have to do anything. I'm just I didn't open anything. We've been mooning for the past few weeks. So why trying to trade?
That's a good attitude. Mr. Gonzo, you mentioned a couple before, but specifically from your competition wallet projects we've covered, have you made any moves?
My trade of the week is I received an Axie NFT from Aave because one of the few moves that I made in the last couple weeks was I sold my Alga and I bought some Aave. You needed 0.065 Aave. I had that. So I got a free NFT Aave Phantom Alter, which is listed right now for 0.04 ETH on the marketplace. So free monies. So, and actually Aave has gone up like 30% since I bought it. So that's good. Double win.
Okay.
Get those free NFTs, man.
Okay, so my trades over the last couple of weeks are finally exited my Ampleforth position at $1.30, I think it was. My entry was just under 70 cents, but it was a number of months ago. So it's a wild ride trading that particular token, I can assure you of that. Lisa on my Monday trading show seems to think she's cracked it, and it's coming back into a buy zone right now. So I am potentially going back into it, but I made a nice profit on that. And I sold the lot and moved into Ethereum, which I picked up for under... price did I buy it at? Would it be raw 500? Doesn't sound right, does it? It's too low. It's
Under 6 probably.
It was definitely under 6. But anyway, yeah. So I increased my ETH position and came out of Ampleforth, and obviously I've been longing and shorting on the Prime XBT platform with my BTC, and got to say I'm thoroughly enjoying that. So got my eye on a couple of other projects. Sorry, I forgot one of them. I bought the WOZ token the day it launched. Went up 120%. I took more than my original stake out. Also put that into Ethereum, and I'm just going to sit on the rest and see how the WOZ token goes.
What's it at now?
It's pulled back a wee bit. In the last 2 weeks, I think it's down 15%. But that's been what I've done, people. Apologies, we're not reviewing a project for you this week. That we will be back into that in the very near future. So short and sweet today, guys. Chandu, start playing Axie Infinity, will you?
Good job to the rest of the scholars.
Any closing comments? You first, Mr. Gonzo.
No. Overall bullish, short-term FUD. I'm a little tiny bit concerned that, we're seeing a cycle of what happened in 2017. A new all-time high for Bitcoin. There's the Ethereum, what is it called? And the CME coming up in February. I'm a bit worried that we're going to see the exact same thing happen now. Like everything pumped, we got our alt market, our bull market, and now we might be seeing bear for a couple of years. I know people don't want to hear that, but it's a possibility, like just everybody being so bullish on Twitter, and like, I don't know, like it's just that like pessimist in me that like I'm normally a super positive guy, but when everybody else turns so bullish, I'm just like, oh, there's something wrong here, because usually it's me being so optimistic. So I don't know. I'm just being a little bit
that's
cautious.
a massive call to leave right to the end of the show there, Jordan.
Yeah, I mean, it's just shit that's rolling around in my fucked up brain. I'm probably wrong, but it's just.
So Jordan thinks we could have a multiple year bear market on our hands. It's
no, I'm not saying it's for sure. I just, everything moves in cycles, right? Like, what if all this regulation shit actually kicks in hard, right? And a whole bunch of people's money gets confiscated, and then your narrative changes, like, I'm not touching that stuff. Not only do you lose value of the coins, you completely get everything, you lose all the money you put in, not just value, right? Like, I don't know. FUD. Yeah, I'm Mr. FUD today. I'm joining you, Sean, on the FUD train. I heard you on Lisa's show. You're Mr. FUD, so I figured I'd join in.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we're off to the races for the next couple of years, and the prices right across the board are going to be supersonic. I'm short-term FUDding. I just want to see how this plays out in the next week or two, and therefore probably won't be making any particularly big trades in that period, but certainly looking to acquire other good projects longer term. So Stefano, close the show out for us. Obviously, a bomb from Mr. Gonzo there. Maybe you want to comment on that?
Well, I disagree. That's the thing. Like, I see the logic. Don't take me wrong. And it's true. Sometimes when like everybody goes in one direction, majority of the times when everybody goes in that direction, you want to go on the opposite one. But no, I'm absolutely bullish on everything on the industry per se. Again, I know that it's gonna upset a lot of people, but we don't live in planet USA, so I cannot care less on what is happening there, to be honest. Two, banks.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was just gonna mention COVID too, like the weird shit that's happening with COVID. Like it's another curveball that, like, I don't know.
COVID has helped adoption in blockchain. It's been like a positive thing for the blockchain
Yeah, but
industry.
what happened when they announced that last lockdown in March? Everything completely shit the bed, right?
Yeah, and it's probably gonna happen again if like once people are gonna be obliged of like selling assets to start repaying loans and credit cards, debts, and all of that stuff. It's true, but let's keep in mind one important thing. We're not talking anymore about like the little people and so on. The olders, like the whales in the space, are either financial institutions at this point, or are people that have entered the space so many years ago that, to be honest, the change that happened this year and what is going to happen like in 2021 with like the bank knocking the door and be like, hey, your loan on the house, it's time to start repaying that now. Those people are not going to sell. Who is going to sell is like who is over leveraged and using a leverage of like 10, 20, 50x on random exchanges, centralized exchanges, and so on. To be honest, yeah, we might see like something going down. Okay, cool. But at the end of the day, when we're starting having like banks that are calling the price of potentially 300-400K around like those values, banks that were like publicly against the value of BTC and BTC in general, people that call it like a scam, people that call it like going to zero, are now buying. Like, to be honest, I don't see that being like anywhere like in 2017. Perhaps in the long term, perhaps like once we're starting having like values that are so high that we're gonna have like a tsunami of billionaires or a tsunami of multimillionaires, and so everybody's gonna be like, oh, I'm out of here because I don't care about that anymore. But we're not there yet. 20K, 30K, 50K, those are not the value that are gonna make that happening. Once we start having on 100, 200, 500, a million, those are like the moments where I'm seeing like people really starting cashing out, and maybe we're going to go like into a bear market for a long, long term. But 2021, no, I'm bullish, 100% bullish.
There you go. Let's finish on that note, people. We will be back next week. Send us your questions. You want an Axie team? Join the Discord. If you are based in the US, it's well within your interest to click the link below and send that form to the US government. It's there. It's in the notes. Do it. Okay. That's it for today. Cheers, guys. We'll see you all next week. Bye now.
Peace out.